In a vast and infinite multiverse, where magic courses through the very fabric of reality, the greatest of mages gather on the field of battle to engage in a duel of epic multiplayer proportions. Leading their armies into battle, backed by their trusted and most skilled commander, ready to do whatever it takes to emerge victorious and live for the adventure. And now, dear friends and fellow gamers, step right up to RIW Hobbies Legendary Showdown, a thrilling tabletop experience like no other. Here you'll witness the most epic and unforgettable battles where fate hangs in the balance, and every move could mean the difference between triumph and defeat, right within the very walls of the game store. So gather your forces, hone your skills, and prepare to enter a world of magic and mayhem. Here are your hosts, Brian and Ryan.
We should start by introducing ourselves.
That'd be great.
I'm Brian Demars.
I'm Ryan Sparks.
Zack Wiseman.
And my name's Tim Rice.
And we're here at RIW Hobbies, about to play some Commander.
Yep. We got some cool topics lined up for you, some really cool episodes in the next couple weeks that we hope to film. Zach and Tim are our first victims, guests. And we're going to see what their thoughts are on some of the topics that we bring to the table. So each week we kind of want this to be real and down to earth, and we just want to express the local community and how big our Commander community is and go from there.
Before we get to the game, do we want to do maybe a little bit about how and why we selected this podcast?
I think so. You want to kind of kick it off there?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Commander lately, and I have really just wanted to make content for casual Commander. That's what I like playing these days. It reminds me of like getting together with my friends and just playing some euchre. It's just real fun.
Oh, definitely.
It's a big difference from like playing competitive Magic or tournaments and stuff like that. It's just very different feel, and I'm all about it.
I like it because it reminds me of playing Monopoly with friends, Pass go if you want, or hey, swing for combat, you never
It's like
know.
a board game where everyone brings a fourth of the board game.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a really cool way to put it, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't have a good board game without friends to play it with. So
That's correct.
Absolutely.
So this is our pilot episode, so you guys are helping us pilot the ship, so let's hope that we don't sink here, but I think we'll be great. I think you guys have some good personalities to bring us our first episode.
Oh, yeah.
Great topics along the way, so we want to talk about our commanders and what we'll be playing
Yeah,
today.
that's a great idea. So, I guess I'll go first because I'm already talking. So I'm playing Rograk Arden Sunforger. The deck's Turbo Sunforger that's all I'm doing. Polymorphs into Godo. Godo's my only creature. Yeah. No helm, though.
all right, sounds good. You cool if I go next?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm playing Brutaclad, Telcor Engineer. Basically, I make artifact creatures, make a lot of tokens, kind of swing wide, and try and do it tall at the same time. Try and get as much damage as I can while I can, and that's pretty much it. Deck's not overly complicated, but it's got some unique strategies that help bring those tokens out into play.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'm going rogue, and I'm playing Pam's Squirrel deck for the first time ever. So
I helped make this deck.
Yes. Everyone's got a little piece in this here. You helped make this deck.
Mm-hmm.
I made some suggestions. We added some cards. We actually made some cuts today, so it's never seen play before. So this is the first time this deck will ever see play. What Chatterfang wants to do is throw a bunch of squirrels at your face and make go nuts, at the end of the day. So there's my dad joke, and that's it.
And I'm playing Rin and Siri Inseparable, and that is a tribal cats and dogs deck, and the power level of this deck is cats and dogs.
Checks out.
Nice.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get to it.
You want to switch it over, and we'll go to our table setting there?
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Here we go.
We'll
Give
cut
me a cut,
decks.
Zach.
Sure.
Well, I'm cutting my own deck there.
You are, sir.
I'm used to my blue sleeves.
Alright, here you go.
And if the audience has any suggestions or anything like that, please send them to Brian Demars.
I'm gonna mulligan.
I'm gonna also mulligan.
I will mulligan as well.
I will as well.
Mulls all around.
Cut me in the lens again, Tim.
I'm gonna definitely try. Alright, here you go, Ryan. Thank you.
This I'll keep.
I'll try this one.
Alright, who goes first?
Oop, we have dice. And we got a dice.
We do.
Tim has the box from the professor there, so we'll go from there and see what happens.
Does not look like I will be going first this game.
It's an 8.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully it's not last.
Not
Winnable. Ooh.
Ooh.
Alright.
Cars. Alright.
Alright, everyone ready?
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
I draw for turn, play a Sacred Peaks tapped, cast Rogue Rock, and pass.
Nice. Very nice.
Rogak. Rogue Rock. I just call him Roger.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger works. I am going to play an island and pass.
Disclaimer, I did not realize that she had this, or maybe I did, but we're going to play a snow-covered forest and play her Mana Crypt.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
And then we're going to... You want to do that? No, I'll just pass to you, Brian. Go ahead.
Draw. And I'll play a Mana Confluence.
Okay.
Also.
I'm gonna play a Bloodstained Mire for turn. Combat. I'm gonna swing at you for 0.
0.
Yep. And then I'm gonna end my turn.
And that's commander damage.
Yeah,
too.
0 commander damage.
Oh.
Better note it. Here you go.
Alright, before you pass, let me take a look.
For sure. Yep.
Nice. Secret lair, you got it.
The left-handed one.
Yeah. I enjoy it. Alright.
It was really hard to not go with the matching etched ones, but I like the left-handed one so much.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
The
that was a good-
confusion factor.
That was a good decision. I'm going to play Shivan Reef. And then I am going to pass turn.
Alright, so for flipping, I think because we don't have a coin, we can roll a die. We do have
Makes
a coin.
sense, yeah.
We do have a coin. I will call heads and Tim can flip.
Not only do we have a coin.
I guess while we're flipping, I'm going to crack my Bloodstained Mire.
Alright. So, heads, tails.
Okay. Tails. Ouch.
I'm just getting a tap land.
That's fine. And we'll play a snow-covered swamp, and we'll play my commander, Shatterfang.
Get an Alpine Meadow.
All set, Ryan?
All set.
Draw. I'll play. Green, red pathway. Take a damage, and I'll play Silly Pride Mage.
Sounds good.
And I'm all set.
Alright. Untap, upkeep, and draw. That's a draw. I'll play this Carekeep for turn. Tap it for a Soul Ring. I wonder what I top decked. Well, this is pretty nice. I'll tap for. I'll cast a Transmogrify targeting my Rograk. Any responders?
No responses.
Alright, so this is going to exile Roger, and then I'm going to reveal cards from the top of my library until I reveal a creature card. I only run one creature, so let's just get started. Godo's about to be in play. This is just going to take a second. We can speed this up or something. Alright, let's go into max overdrive. Any second now. Any second now.
Transmogrify with a chart culture. That would be fun.
Hey, dude, one time it was literally the bottom card of my deck, and I felt like I was getting a little afraid that it just wasn't in my deck. But hopefully it didn't fall out of my deck box or something. That would be unfortunate. Alright. Getting real nitty gritty.
It's like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and
And
going.
going and going and going. That should be flipped over. Any moment now. I mean, it's gotta be soon. It's gotta be soon.
There it is.
Okay, there he is. Godo's in play. Trigger on the stack. I'll find a Sun Forger and then I'll pass.
Okay.
Let me find that.
Draw for turn.
And everything gets shuffled.
I have to wait for him to finish.
Sure.
So we have some discussion topics, I heard?
We do.
All right. Let me offer a cut because I'm forgetting. You go.
Cool. You got a Sun Forger out there?
Yeah, it's not equipped.
Okay.
Nice.
Imprisoned in the Moon?
Ooh.
What are you targeting? Godo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Ouch.
I mean, I don't really need the Godo that badly. I'll put him with my
Right.
lands, though. He
Well,
did
you
his
gotta get more
job.
lands.
Yeah, true. Rampant growth.
In blue.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
All right. We'll flip again, sir. We'll call tails this time. I think that thing likes tails.
We'll find out. You want to keep it? You want me to reflip?
I think it's fairly clear.
Was it damage?
Yeah.
It stands.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly clear
That's fine with
clip
me.
right there.
All right, so we'll play a forest.
Mhm.
I am going to pay 1 and put 4 into Green Sun Zenith. Responses?
None.
No responses. Mind if I see Sun Forger?
For sure.
I think I know my choice. I'm just double checking real quick. Yep, that's probably what's gonna happen. Choice is Species Specialist.
That's pretty good.
When it enters the battlefield, I choose a creature type. I'm choosing squirrels. Whenever the creature of the chosen type dies.
Can I see green suns?
Yes, you may.
Your creature has to be green, sir.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. It's black. Wow, first time on podcast. Wow. Why don't I just read Green Sun like natural order? And
I get it. Everyone's excited.
yeah, it'd be the same thing though. Green natural order. So we'll do Husky instead, because that was my original pick. But then I saw that guy. I'm like, oh wait, it has to be green.
Taski's a good choice.
All right. Green Sun is in the grave, and then it goes back into my library. You know, I've never owned one of those before.
A green sun?
Never.
It's cheap now.
Yeah, I should pick one up.
From RIW Hobbies and Games.
Why not?
Yeah. Still
Uh,
right up front.
Yeah.
I love that card. Green sun scene.
Yeah, super good. I like the Dryad Arbor tech. Feels so smart getting a Dryad Arbor off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a green creature. It does count.
Tim, you have the most life, so I'm going to poke at you for 3.
You got it.
And it's 3 commander.
Would it be
Use
effects
the
or
effects.
counters?
Be counters.
Yeah, cool.
I'll pick, I don't know, a star, I guess.
Sure. There you go. On to Brian.
That's not a land.
Hey, Brian, I feel you there, man.
I'll attack Zack for 3.
I'll take 3.
Then I'm all set.
Alright. Draw this card backwards. Get it out the sleeve. So I'm going to play a Plains for turn. Then I'm gonna tap my Carekeep, my Godo, who's not Godo, and my Plains for Arden. Pay 2 for a Dowsing Dagger. It'll enter. Someone will make 2/0/2 green plant creature tokens with Defender. Who wants some plants? Who wants some plants? Man, this really sucks. All of these decks really love having a green creature. You have 2 lands, Brian, so I'll give you the 2 plants.
So I get 2 plants?
2/0/2 plant tokens with Defender.
Boom. Plants.
Alright. I'm going to move to combat. Arden will trigger, and he's going to equip Sunforger onto himself.
I'll respond by destroying something.
Now, if you would have made
Okay.
me the plants, you probably wouldn't have my Chatterfang trigger, because it says if one or more tokens be created under your control.
I'm not sure. I will move to my end step.
I will go to, I will look that up for later on.
That is
At the end of the
interesting.
show. Yeah.
Kind of rude. I gave you the plants, man.
You could give my squirrels some snacks.
True.
Could have been worse. It could have been your Soul Ring.
I would have rather had the Sunforger.
I'm aware of that. I blew up the thing. Thank you.
You
Mhm.
got it.
Plant Defender.
Yeah.
Here you go.
My art is not the best, and I'm not drawing with a fine tip, so I apologize. It's a little muddy over there. But yeah, we're going to have some fun here. Let's do... Let's see here. I don't like the options. You know what? I'll drop Elixir for now, and I'm going to go ahead and turn
All right. Well, I
Did
need
you
my
miss a land drop?
2 now.
Okay.
Started with 2 in hand, was expecting more, did not get there.
All right. I'd like to call heads this time.
You got it.
Please flip away.
Sure you want to keep heads?
Yes. Dang it.
Dude, he's on a clock.
All right. We're going to draw. We're going to play.
That coin just does not like you.
It does
Brian,
not.
would you like to flip instead of myself?
No, you're doing a great job.
Okay. And I will tap my commander to pay 1 for that, and I will search for a 4-drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Yep.
I have nothing to say about this.
I have nothing to say as well.
Now I'll grab Species Specialist.
Oh, yeah.
You got it.
Because this deck likes card draw.
What? A commander deck that likes drawing cards? I could use some card draw right about now. I could use some recursion.
I just need some land.
Agree.
Yeah, you guys have your own problems. But look, you got some plants.
I got plants. Do they make mana?
Nope. They block.
That's
You got a Paradise Mantle, you can make them make mana for you.
like to cut.
Sure. Here you go, sir.
Thank you.
No problem.
Alright, with cord in the graveyard, which I'll put the graveyard, I guess like this.
It works.
We will go to combat, because I have to.
I got a 2/2.
I have a very clean looking board. With nothing on it.
Start working on taking down these
I'm
plants.
thinking about it, but he's a 1/1.
Bring it.
And those are 0/2s.
You can ping me.
I'll ping you for 1, Tim. What the
Boom.
heck? Yeah, I draw a card.
You do?
Cool. Let's go.
Land. Boom. I'm gonna choose cat.
Okay. Stifle.
You would. I'll play Leonin Relic Order. And I guess choices are Soul Ring, Mana Crypt, and Elixir. I don't think it's very
Also,
smart to take.
can you do Dowsing
I can do
Dagger?
Dagger. Do I want to do Dagger?
It doesn't really. I mean, it will potentially give me mana. About as much mana as a soul ring. I would vote not the mana crypt because it's doing work.
All right, I'll do your Soul Ring. Then.
Okay, so it's just exiled under the
Yeah,
guy.
until he leaves play.
Cool.
And that's it for me.
All right. Nothing in the end step. Untap, upkeep, draw. All right. Gonna play a Sunbaked Canyon for turn.
Good card.
True. Modern playable. And then I'm going to move to combat. Arden's going to trigger, attempt to attach Dowsing Dagger to him. He is now a 4/3. I will swing at, what was your name again?
Tim,
Tim. Tim, I'm going to swing at you for 4.
you got it, sir.
All right. Dowsing Dagger is going to flip into the Lost Veil. Which taps for 3 mana of any one color.
Too bad there's not an acorn on there.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Then, So I'll put that right there for simplicity. I will think for a moment.
Or a paw print for you.
Alright, I'm gonna tap 3 red, 4, 5, 6. Cast a Chandra Hope's Beacon, new card.
Ooh, new one.
Oh yeah. Anyone not know what this does?
I do not know what it is.
Alright, so whenever I cast an instant or sorcery spell, I copy it. I can choose new targets. +2, add 2 mana of any color, which is what I'm gonna do. So does anyone have a die I can borrow?
Yes.
Yeah, enters it with 7 or 5 loyalty. In this case, it's at 7. +1, exile the top 5 until the end of my next turn. I can cast an instant or sorcery, and then -X. I'm never using that, so I'll add 2 mana, and then I'll not tap my Sunbaked Canyon. I'll add 2 more mana, and I'm gonna cast a Heartwarming Redemption. It'll get copied. Discard all the cards in your hand, then draw that many cards +1. And then I gain life equal to the number of cards in my hand. So the first one happens, I'll discard 2, draw 3, gain 3.
I got you.
Thank you. And then the second one will happen, and I'll discard 3, including a spell with Retrace, but a useless spell with the Retrace. Draw 4, gain 4. Still going. I'll lose a life to cast a land tax, and then I will pass.
Welcome to the
End of your turn.
life to cast spells.
I'm going to go ahead and play Mystical Tutor.
Alright.
Give this deck a good shuffle.
Alright.
How many creatures you got? 1, 2, 3. He's indestructible.
Correct.
Let's do something different here.
That thing hurts me one more time. I'm turning it into a squirrel.
Go for it. Doing that.
Scroll deck looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scroll deck is looking amazing.
Trying to remember what else I put in this deck.
This
There's
one or
a-
that one?
That one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember pulling the cards for it.
Ooh.
Oof.
Reality shift.
Okay.
Turn something into a morph. Is that what that thing does?
Manifests.
Yeah.
So it exiles a creature, and then you manifest the top card. It becomes a 2/2.
Okay.
If it's a creature, you can flip it over.
I just remembered the exile part, and that's why I said oof.
Yep.
Exile in blue.
We go to the top. I'm going to untap, upkeep, draw. So now it is in hand. I'm going to go ahead and pass turn.
Pass turn. All right. Flip again for me.
You got it.
What did I call last time? Tails?
Heads.
Or I'm going to call tails this time.
Hey, you got it.
Winner.
Cavernous Souls, calling squirrels.
Cool. I can't do anything about it.
All right. We will then tap, float one, colorless. Can play Nature's Lore. Search my library for any forest and put it directly into play. You guys know I like taking life anyways, so I'm just going to put Overgrown Tomb out and take 2.
Dude, this game wins itself. He's already at 29.
Yep. I'm showing Pam the wrong way to play your deck. All right. Then we'll take a snow-covered swamp and a snow-covered forest to play Deadly Dispute. I'm going to sacrifice Mana Crypt.
Oh.
I'm going to draw 2 cards, create a treasure, and a squirrel.
You need a treasure?
Yeah, I probably need a treasure.
I've got
Should we
treasure.
play the Unfinity Squirrel?
Ooh. Does that pile all squirrels?
Yes, it is.
That's
It's a pile of squirrels.
nice.
If not, I had it.
Nice.
And we got a treasure token.
Gotta be prepared.
I came super prepared.
I was most certainly not prepared.
I came super prepared. I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of everything. I got spin down dice, I got regular rolling dice, I got all kinds of stuff. Even the dice are different colored, so that way I
So
can
with
keep
my
track of
floating
negative
dice, I
ones and
cast
positive
its
ones.
Deadly Dispute. I used that floating mana I had from the mana.
I like
Crypt
making
with
sure I
swamp.
come in with
Ready for
everything I
action.
need.
Then I'm going to
Yeah.
tap
I was ready for action, but the deck
Cavern of
isn't showing
Souls
it.
for colorless, a green, and a black. And we're going to play Chitter Spinner.
Nice.
At the beginning of my upkeep, I can sacrifice a token. If I do, I'd put an acorn counter on Chitter Spinner. Squirrels I can control get +1/+1 for each acorn on Chitter Spinner. I can also pay 1 green to tap and create a squirrel token, creature token. Yes. And if I do that, I create another one. Pass go. It's
Yeah.
doubling season.
I'll name
That's
Cat.
the reason why Bootlegger Stash isn't in the deck.
And I'll play Rim and Siri. Finally.
But it still forces you to tap everything out.
Yep.
Then I'll attack. You have no blockers, right?
Nope.
I'll attack Chandra.
For 2?
Yep.
Alright, she goes to 5.
That's it for me.
Alright, untap. Draw. Alright, how do I want to do this? Well, I'll play a
Should have played Metal.
Buried Ruin for a turn.
Regrets are being said.
I should have mulliganed again.
Tap Godo into Plains to sack the Buried Ruin, return Sunforger to my hand.
Okay. He likes the Sun Forger.
Oh yeah. I will tap Lost Veil, play Sunforger.
There it is.
Move to combat. Arden trigger will attempt to equip Sunforger to Arden.
Okay.
This was at 5.
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I'm going to +2 Chandra for no value, up to 7, and then I'll pass.
Sounds great. Go ahead and draw. Hey, you got a land.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we are slowly getting there. Ever so slowly. But now I can play things, which is the important part. Alright, so hopefully I don't die. Cloud Keep, calling artifacts.
Alright. Untap. Upkeep. I will sacrifice the treasure token to create an acorn counter.
Excuse me, that's my treasure token.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Turn to
My
sender.
2 cents.
Trying to take it from them. How dare
I'm
you,
sorry.
Ryan?
Let me just get you a quick acorn over here. +1. Alright, and I draw for turn. Play a land. Hmm. This is for colorless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh,
and 6. Not collector.
what's that do?
At the beginning of my upkeep, I can put a put a 1/1 squirrel token into play. And if I have threshold, all squirrels get +2/+2.
Do you have threshold?
Currently, I do not.
Okay.
But the important part is I get 2 squirrels at my upkeep.
True. I'm passing priority on that.
Anyone else? All good?
You're good for me.
I'm going to go to combat, and I will
I wouldn't recommend attacking me.
I'm just trying to see, you don't have a forest out, so I can't forest walk you. You don't have a forest either, right?
No, my man is a train wreck.
Yeah, I noticed that. You have no blockers.
Yep, so you don't need forest walk with me.
No, I don't. So I'm just gonna poke you for 5, 6.
Oof.
I'll draw 2 cards, I think, right? Toski said, yep, whenever a creature deals combat, I draw a card, so 1.
So what's Tusky at?
It's a 2. It's because of the acorn counter.
Okay, gotcha.
2.
So I get 4 commander damage?
Yes.
And you said 6.
Correct. And I will pass the turn.
Take a point. Play Selfless Savior.
Oh, that's a cool one. It's the promo pack.
And because I played a dog, I get a cat. And then I will play Torin Mauler. And because it's a
That's a
dog
good
and
one.
a cat, I get a dog and a cat.
It seems like it gets out of hand quickly.
I gave
Yeah.
you guys like a 3-turn head start on
Yeah,
not drawing
yeah.
lands, but yeah, it is a cool deck.
Mhm. I didn't realize the interaction with changelings.
I'm all set. Your
Okay.
turn.
In your end step, I am going to unattach Sunforger and cast an instant or sorcery with CMC 4 or less without paying its mana cost, and I will copy it because of Chandra. I'm going to cast Big Score.
Draw 2.
I still have to pay the
You still have to discard the
additional
card.
cost, yeah, so I will do that in a second. So I'll discard 1 and then draw 2 and then discard 1, draw 2, or do I discard 2 twice, or discard 1 twice?
So it would copy the
Can
spell?
I get a die real quick for my Torin Mauler?
What's allowing you to copy?
Chandra says whenever I copy a spell, or whenever I cast a spell, I copy.
Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy. You may choose 2 targets for the copy. Spell triggers only once each turn, so technically you haven't cast it yet.
That's Plains Chase.
When you are casting it with Sunforger, you would then have to use Big Score, pay its additional cost, then it gets copied.
Okay,
you don't
so I'll
have
pay
to-
the additional cost, I'll discard Norm's
That's a
chant.
Planeswalker die.
Yeah, and then the spell's
Draw
copied.
I
2,
can't
make 2
find a real die.
treasures.
Yeah, because
and
now the
there you
spell's
go.
successfully
Mhm.
cast.
And I'll pay the additional cost, I'll discard this Boros
No,
Garrett.
you don't have to pay the additional cost.
When I copy it, I don't have to?
Nope.
Oh.
Because you are, when you copy
Oh,
the
I
spell.
see. I'm not
that
paying
is
the cost.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I'll just make 4 treasure tokens and draw total.
Yep.
Alright, do we have treasure tokens at
We
someone?
do. How
I got
many do
one
you
for
need?
you.
4. Well, I guess 1 and I can just represent it with a die.
He's got 4
Yeah.
more for you.
Oh, that works too. That's
Yeah.
fun. And then I'll move to my turn. Untap.
Because I make a little bit of everything in this deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brutaclad's fun. Upkeep and thank you.
Okay, sir.
I will draw Alright, now we're talking. Now we are talking. I will play a Croson Verge tapped for turn, which is pretty cool. I'm going to
All you
cast
guys with all your mana, I'm jealous.
an Explorer Scope, and then I'm going to cast a Sword of Feast and Famine. Protection from black and green.
Ooh.
Yes. I will also cast a Gamble. Search my library for a card.
Discard a card at
Discard
random.
at random, yes. I'll get a card.
I run it in here as well.
And then I'll discard at random.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, it's
yeah.
like $6 now. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Card used to be like 20.
Yeah, that's because it got a bunch of reprints.
Well, I got like one, but it was at rare in a master set, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Still don't understand though. It's so good. 1 mana tutor for anything, and most red decks have recursion. All right. And then who wants to discard me at random?
Brian, you want to discard him at random?
That's not what I searched for.
Darn it.
Yes. And then I will move to. Actually, not yet. First,
Yeah, so
Take a picture of the board
printed
state.
in Dominaria Remastered.
I'll cast
As I
a.
win, Judge, Secret Lair, Ultimate Masters, Eternal.
Oh yeah,
Master.
get reprinted in Heads I Win, Tails I Lose.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll
That's right.
cast Savine's
So
Reclamation,
it's had like 5 prints.
targeting Boros Garrison.
Oh shoot.
The thing I just.
How many
discarded.
spells have you played this?
This is my. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This.
4?
Yes. Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Black
So
guy should probably
Sabine's
do that.
Reclamation
Those are big cats.
will return Boros Garrison. I will bounce a land. I believe I can bounce Godo here, right?
Hold on, before you have anything, because you didn't copy your gamble.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
I have to
configure
discard
gamble.
at random again. That's not good. So this is still in my hand. This is still in the graveyard,
Yeah, that's fine.
and then I will gamble again. Oh, I don't even know what I'm getting.
And don't worry, we're not even editing this out, so don't feel bad. I didn't do the Green Sun, so
I'll get.
that's really how Commander works.
This true
I
commander.
play with high-end
There's so many things going off at this point, so we're all gonna make a mistake here or
Look
there.
at
You should
this.
see when I cast Rite of Replication on 9 copies.
Ooh, I hope I
of,
discard the Savines randomly. That would be cool.
I'm not going to get into that.
Please don't. You're gonna make my head hurt.
Yeah. Because I have Precursor Golem in here.
Ooh, Precursor Golem's fun.
9 copies of that? Ooh.
And then I will discard at random. Here, let me shuffle this up.
You know a Precursor Golem.
Yes, I do know it. Yeah.
So imagine copying
You
Rite
can
of
keep
Replication
these
for each
3.
other Precursor Golem.
Oh, my counter spell.
Holy
No.
horse, man.
Really want Savines to get discarded. Alright. Anywho, well now I'll cast Sabine's Reclamation.
It's like
I still have the lands
A
tapped
little
because
over
I'm bad.
300
Boros
tokens
Garrison
at
in
one
play.
You know the thing.
Yes. So,
And then I
correct
put
me if
them all
I'm
in
wrong,
one
but
bowl.
can I bounce Godo here because he's a land?
Does
The
it say
color-
bounce permanent?
It says return a land you control
Yeah,
to your own.
yeah,
hand.
yeah,
you
Okay.
can- you can
So then
definitely
this
bounce
goes
them.
to the yard.
Correct.
That
And
goes
I'll
back to your hand.
return Godo to my hand.
Mhm.
I will move to combat. Arden will trigger and attempt to attach the Sword of Feast of Famine, Explorer Scope, and Sunforger to himself.
Didn't you already move to combat with Sunforger previously? Because this is all in the same turn.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
he got backed up
Yeah,
because
he
he
got
didn't
backed up
copy
with
his
gamble.
gamble.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is now a 4/4 and 8/4, and I'm gonna swing at you.
I can't block.
So
Uh-oh.
Sword of
Protection
Feast and
from black and
Famine will
green.
trigger. I'll do Explorer Scope triggers first. Look at the top card. It is not a land. And then I'll do Sword of Feast and Famine. You discard. I untap all my lands.
Discard? Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What do I want to discard?
And then I will.
How much damage was that?
That was 8 damage. Commander
Commander
damage.
damage.
Oh. That's a sword right there.
Oh yeah. I will pay 3, 4, 5, 6 for a arcane bombardment. Another trigger there. And then I will pass the turn. Whew. Okay.
Well, I'm not looking the best. I'm going to tap this instead. To wait glass. It costs 1 less because of cloud key. And
Oh, I didn't do my planeswalker. Doesn't matter. Who cares? I honestly wasn't even going to use the mana, and I don't think it's relevant. What's loyalty is
Go
X.
ahead. Passing you up.
uh-huh.
All right. At my upkeep, I'm gonna order these funky.
Do some upkeep triggers?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
so
the
I'm gonna create a
squirrel.
squirrel, but I'm gonna get 2 squirrels. I'm gonna sacrifice one of the squirrels for my acorn counter. Then I draw a card for Species Specialist.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Mhm.
Now squirrels are +2/+2. I'm gonna play Wasteland.
I have a land that taps for 3 mana that I will inform you about.
Okay.
Ryan's like, sounds like a good idea.
Tantalizing, yes. Sorry. No, you're good. You could also get rid of his only red source. That would be funny, I think.
Yeah. What's the land that taps for 3?
Lost Veil. It's a
It's
flip
the
dowsing
Dowsing
dagger.
Ugh. I'm just gonna hold this thing hostage for now. We're just gonna keep it on board.
Mm-hmm.
But I will. Zach, how many creatures do you have open with the highest life total?
The biggest creature I have is an 8/4 that is tapped.
Okay. I will go to combat. Before I go to combat, I'm going to go to combat this turn. Let me rephrase that. Using the colorless and a black. Triumph of the Hordes.
Okay. Resolve.
Attacking you with all these guys?
Alright, I will respond by unattaching Sunforger before damage. And I will search. Well, yeah. So this is going to be some shenanigans because of Arcane Bombardment.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens here. Well, I will get. So everything has +1/+0 infect. Okay.
And trap.
And trample. I really don't want to ramp him, so settle the wreckage isn't good.
Please.
Yeah.
A squirrel deck? Why
Oh
not?
yeah, cannot do that. I'm gonna do Teferi's Protection,
Okay.
but I have some triggers here.
Sure.
So, do I order these however I want? They both trigger off the same thing. Or do they both go onto the stack?
Cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn. Okay. Let me double check Arcane Bombardment.
Mhm.
Read it. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, Exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. Then copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment. You may cast any number of the copies without paying their mana costs.
Okay, so
So you're going to cast this,
Mhm.
and then you have
trigger,
to exile.
trigger. Double Teferi's Protection does nothing. This goes exiled. Let me.
Double phase
Well-
out.
Yeah, I'm double phase.
Okay,
Right?
so are you resolving the Teferi's protections?
Do I get duplicate counters when he copies a spell? I don't think
Yes,
so.
you
Yes.
do, I think.
Whenever an opponent plays a spell, does that count as playing a spell?
Playing the copy.
The copy, let's double check. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for copy.
I think it just copies it, not plays it.
Correct.
Okay, so these are all the instants and sorceries in my graveyard. Let's pick one at random.
But to answer the question, are you resolving the Teferi's protections
Uh,
before any of the other triggers?
oh, I guess I should do this trigger first so that I don't double Teferi's and I could double a different spell, right? 'Cause I could double this if I order this trigger first.
So if you do this first, you still have to do this based on that. You can still get double Teferi's because this works with any number
Oh,
of
yeah,
of
okay.
spells.
Yeah, I'll leave Teferi's on the stack and resolve these triggers.
Okay.
Okay, so exile an instant or sorcery at random. Okay, Savine's Reclamation is under Arcane Bombardment.
That's a good one.
So I will cast it and copy it through Chandra. I'll return Bloodstained Mire and Marsh Flats.
He's gonna be hard to get out at this point.
Oh yeah. Oh
I think
yeah.
He's got this one maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I'm going to cast Teferi's. Teferi's happens. Yeah.
Okay, so on the stack
All my
of Teferi's.
Yeah, Teferi's on the stack.
Just
No. No.
Reality shift.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. To the command zone, and I believe I still manifest the top card, right?
Counter.
Right, true, true. So manifest the top card, I can look at it.
Mhm.
Cool.
And then if it's a creature, you can flip it up at any time.
Correct, it is not a creature. There are no creatures in my deck currently. Yeah,
Is that it?
yes.
All right, so combat doesn't happen, so we'll go to post-combat. I will play for 1, 2,
Is my...
3.
Oh, never mind, you're right.
Can I read Teferi's
Yes.
before you do anything?
Oh, sure. I will untap my lands.
Until end of turn, your life total can't change, and you gain protection from everything. All right, you're good.
Okay, I will tap my 3 lands, 2 green, 1 black, and I will play Squirrel Mob. You get a +1/+1 for each other squirrel on the battlefield. That is it for my turn.
Boom.
I have a lot of squirrels.
Arcane Bombardment is crazy.
So is all your stuff back now?
No.
No, I'm still
Not until
phased
turn.
out. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not phased out, but all my
So
stuff
this
is.
is permanently exiled, but he can copy it because of Arcane Bombardment. So Arcane basically gives him a free...
So all your stuff is phased out until your next turn?
Yes.
Correct.
And you can't be attacked?
Yes.
Yeah.
His life total
Can't
cannot
change,
change, and he
okay.
has protection from everything. So he can't be targeted or dealt damage by.
Anyone have any enchantments in play?
Nope.
That's unfortunate.
Are the acorns enchantments?
They're
They're
counters.
probably
Oh.
They're counters. I'm just letting you know my acorn count. I should probably change that to say acorn count. There you go.
And this is from the Chitter Spear?
Yep.
Okay.
I have to sacrifice tokens to give them +1s.
I'm gonna mutate Regal
Well, they have it on
Leosaur
free, so they all are at +2.
onto my cat,
That's what
and
I
then
said.
I'm gonna. You have creatures on tap?
Yeah.
How many?
1, 2, 3.
I'm
Or
gonna check. I'm gonna
two.
check you with everything, Ryan.
Me with everything.
Triumph of the Hordes is scary. Sorry, man.
No, you're good. Yeah, yeah.
I wanna try and get somebody out.
That's fair.
I don't blame you.
What is the?
I got a feeling Zack over
What's
here
their
is
power
gonna
and
win.
toughness?
They all have different power and toughnesses, but they're all +2/+1.
Okay.
Should've
Your
played
highest
mono
one.
red mill.
My highest one is
Yeah.
a 13/13.
That's attacking me.
Yeah. It's actually a 15/14.
Trample.
No?
All right, I'll block it with a
1/1.
3/3 squirrel. And then what's coming at me too? What else? The next highest?
A 6/5.
I'll block the 6/5 with a. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So how'd you get Arcane Bombardment?
It's
I
an
cast
8/8.
it.
It's an 8/8.
Oh.
It's an 8/8.
I untapped
Okay.
all my names. That's how that turn was so nuts.
One,
You're
two,
good.
each
I just wanna make sure.
No, you're good.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's an 8/8.
Okay, are you taking the rest?
So I block it, one dies, I draw a card from that guy dying. Yes, I'm taking the rest because I can't block anything else.
So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
You're at 5, Ryan.
I'm at 5.
That's it for me.
Alright, I phase in, untap, upkeep, and draw. So, I'm going to start off by casting Arden for 5. I will follow up by +2ing my Chandra to 9 loyalty, adding 2 blue mana. And I'll play a Boros Signet. I will pay 3 to play a Rings of Brighthearth. And then I'm going to move to combat. Arden will trigger, and I'll equip everything onto the manifested 2/2. So it's now in 8/4.
Can I see Arden?
Yes,
I just want to double check.
This gets a counter when you play Boros.
correct. While you're looking at that, I'm double fetching.
Nice.
Double fetch.
Oh yeah, I get a. Thank you. I'll get
Barriers
a.
protection kind of a blowout there, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
I'll get a Mad Blind Mountain and a Mistvale Plains. So I can find it. Mistvale Plains. So, still in combat. It's my hand. I will swing at. How many cards in your hand? A lot?
Almost a full grip.
Okay.
I got
Mana
5.
untapped, though?
No mana untapped.
I'm gonna swing. I should probably kill him, right? But I don't even know if it's correct. I don't. I really don't.
I mean, he played Triumph of the Hordes. So.
Yeah, but that means it's not in his hand anymore.
That's true.
No, but Overrun, Overwhelming Stampede, or anything else might be. That's
True, but it's pretty hard to kill a stick with combat. I
That's
mean,
fair.
you can. I'm just not as worried about him as I am about blue players. I'm going to swing at you for 8.
All right. I take 8.
Alright.
Putting me at 8.
Explorer Scope trigger, not a land. Sword of Feast and Famine trigger, untap.
I have to discard.
Yes.
Discard Wonder.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Okay.
You control an island?
He does. I will unequip Sunforger at sorcery speed. And this will get copied. I'm going to search an Enlightened Tutor. I'm not going to bother copying it, but I will because it doesn't do anything. Actually, do I have to copy it?
So whenever you cast, so with Arcane Bombardment, it says whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Chandra copies it. So like.
Chandra copies it, but this is a must. Let me double check to see if Chandra's abilities are made for you. Whenever you cast, copy it. Yes, it is not a may, so you have to copy it.
All right. Well, you'll get more counters then. So I'll fail to find on the second one because it doesn't really affect, or the first one, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then let's do Arcane Bombardment trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, here are all the instants and sorceries in my graveyard. Let's take one. What is it? Uh-oh.
Repeated reverberation.
Okay, well that's good, but not here. So repeated reverberation, I'll cast that, counter there, and then I'll also cast Savine's Reclamation, returning... Oh, it gets copied. Gee, oh my god.
Yep.
Okay, so
You're going off too big.
repeated reverberation gets copied, right? So then that means Savine's Reclamation gets copied, happens 4 times? Is that what happens?
All right, so,
Because I choose the order in which I cast them.
yeah.
With Enlightened Tutor still on the stack.
I'm just going to borrow your
Yeah,
cards. real
feel
quick.
free. You can touch whatever you want.
So, Chandra's ability copies whenever you cast an sorcery spell. So it says,
Oh, but I'm copying them, not casting them.
correct. So the thing is that Chandra's ability is still on the stack when you casted Enlightened Tutor.
Mm-hmm.
So because of the Enlightened Tutor, you get 2 of those, you go ahead and search, but you're triggering Arcane first. So, Arcane says, whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery each turn, exile an instant or sorcery, random, we already did, then copy each card exiled with Arcane. You may cast any number of copies without paying your mana costs. So because they're exiled, you are having to cast the copy. You are casting them as copies.
I am casting the copies?
Yes.
So
and
I
the
will
reason
Savine's
why,
Reclamation 4 times then.
yeah, so it says, and you can choose how these stack because you are casting everything at one time. So repeated reverberation, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, cast this, okay, or activate a loyalty ability this turn, copy that spell or ability twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. So, Savine's, you'll cast it, trigger on Chandra, repeated reverberation. If you want to do that, you can copy Savine's.
I'm going to resolve Enlightened Tutor
Okay.
while we do this, yeah. I will
Test of-
search up Test of Endurance. Once I find it.
So, Enlightened Tutor's still on the stack.
Oh, you have anything?
No, but you got to make sure that all of
Well,
these
I did the
resolve.
Savine's Reclamation.
Okay,
I
good.
put 4 lands in play
Okay, cool.
because it gets copied. And
Yeah.
now I'm searching up a Test of Endurance and putting that on top of my library. Do I have a way to draw a card? Yes.
And now we'll return your Chandra. Nice Chandra, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I got it for $6 right when the set came out. Now it's spiked.
Yeah,
Because it's good.
I got mine for 8.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's still pretty cheap. I think a regular one's like 8 now. So this goes on top. I don't think I can draw. This is in the graveyard. I don't think I can draw it this turn.
We might need more table space for
Oh, I can. Yeah. Okay. Tap Sunbaked Canyon, sack it, draw a card. Then I'm going to pay 3. I think I can get here. This is a weird line, but I think I can do it. Pay 3, equip Sunforger to the 2/2. Pay 2, unequip it. And pay 2 again.
Before you did that, I was
Okay.
going to pull up a land.
Well, I'll tap it for mana in response.
Okay.
The 3/1?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Pay 2 to copy it, and I'll double Sunforger. And I will get...
I forgot you had the wasteland.
Yeah,
could've,
I wanted to respond, but I didn't want to cut him off at the same
No,
time.
you're good. I
He's
mean,
on
I
the
You
would
roll.
got the Sunbaked Canyon in response to the Enlightened Tutor.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Oh, that would have been smart, yeah. I'll get a
just one of those lines I noticed after the fact. I definitely
War
wouldn't have
report.
thought of it in the moment either.
Hey, I told Zach earlier if he's on our show, he's going to beat our face. So I'm sticking to my word.
Nice.
And magnetic theft. So these
Yeah, I mean, I just got,
both get
Nano
copied.
yeah.
Or screwed, I guess, in this case. Yeah, I've seen that deck go off. It's pretty scary.
So these both get copied. War Report's going to gain me a disgusting amount of life on this board state because it's getting cast twice. So I need to know the number of artifacts and creatures in play.
I have 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
I'm
11.
sorry.
11.
It happens
I have
sometimes.
6.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Seven.
6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9.
One artifact,
So
6
11
creatures.
plus 6 plus 9 times 2.
11 plus 6 plus 9. So
Yes.
if you do 11 plus 9, that's 20 plus 6 would be 26 times 2 is 52,
Okay, so I'll gain 52 life.
putting him at
92.
92.
Dual wielding.
There you go.
Okay, 92 life. Magnetic theft will now resolve. I'll equip Sun Forger onto my guy, and then equip Sun Forger onto my guy again. And then I'm going to crack my 4 treasures, cast Test of Endurance, and pass. Kill me if you can.
Quite in the first episode, I'm not editing cards in.
Well, unfortunately, I cannot. I, again, was not very...
I don't know
high
whose
on
treasure
it.
tokens these are.
Those are Tim's.
Those are
Okay.
mine. The
What
ones
about
in
the-
Swiss-
The one is Brian's.
Correct.
Boom. Thank you.
I'll take that.
Yes.
1 for, is it Signet? Let's see here. Yeah, I can still do that, I guess. 1, 2, 3. You guys already know how Signet works, so that's just basically going to tap for 4. Playing Gilded Lotus.
There's the
Uh,
ramp.
Yeah, came a little too late though, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be having a little more fun. Go ahead.
All right, untap. I have Threshold,
Hog.
and I create 2 squirrels.
I'm going to double fetch.
I'm going
You
to
got it.
sacrifice a squirrel. Acorn count 3. Draw a card, and draw a card for a
So
turn.
you just got 2 creatures out there?
Me? Yeah.
Okay. The beginning of your upkeep, if you have 50 or more life, you win the game.
Yup, there's a clock.
You still got that thing?
Maybe.
That thing. Now I want to know what's going on.
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
You'll see.
I'll sacrifice myself for the betterment of the table if you do something.
I don't like the sound of this.
You getting down to less than 50?
I was looking at you.
That's fair.
I mean, I had nothing to blow up his thing, to be fair, unless I start sacrificing squirrels, which will put me out of my misery.
I can technically stop the card, but I can't blow it up.
How many
What do you
creatures
have
do
on
you
this?
have open, though?
I have 2-2.
How much mana do you have open?
6.
Oh boy. How many cards in here?
1. And it is known that it's Godo.
Okay. Alright.
I don't remember why it's known, but I'm fairly confident.
You
it's
returned
known.
it to
Yeah,
hand
yeah, I
because
bounced
of-
it.
yeah.
Alright, I gotta count how many squirrels are in play real quick. 2, 3, 4, 7. So it gets +4. 11, 11.
Not a bad deck.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Who
Should've-
needs creatures?
Should have played some a little stronger.
One,
Well, not stronger, faster.
two.
This deck.
I mean,
can-
you got mana screw. There's not a lot you can do there.
Yeah.
3,
Well, like this deck can hit upwards of
5.
900 damage.
Overwhelming stampede.
Yeah, I've seen some.
Okay.
Okay.
turn.
I've seen some disgusting Brutaclad shenanigans.
Well, what I normally do is I make constructs.
Like
And then
RPG?
They're really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what I'll usually
He
do
doesn't
is
have
do
haste.
precursor goal, make a bunch of tokens, turn them all into constructs, swing equal number of artifacts I control.
All of these are 11, 11s.
Okay.
And they're coming at you, and they have 11, 11 and trample.
All right. I will respond.
Sure.
I will unattach Sunforger, and I will pay 2 to copy it.
Hold on. I'm going to counter the Sunforger ability.
Can I still copy it?
Not if it hasn't been cast.
Okay. So that happens.
Never.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think when you go to copy it, won't this counter the Sunforger ability, and thus you can't copy it anymore? It's just not on the
That's-
set?
that's-
But
that's
it
how
says
the-
I activated ability. I activate an ability.
Yeah.
He counters the ability, but I still activated the ability.
Right.
Yeah, here, let me read rings. So whenever you activate an ability, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 2. If you do copy that ability, you may choose new targets for the copy.
So I think I can still copy it.
Okay, yeah, then you can.
Yeah.
So I'll copy it.
Okay.
I will search.
Because with
Well, aren't you
that,
copying an ability that is
Would-
being countered?
no.
I think it puts
So,
a.
so
Okay.
how it works, he would activate the ability of the artifact, and then because he can technically hold priority, copy the ability. So because 2 of the abilities are on the stack, I can cancel the original Sunforger ability, but the copy ability is still on the stack, so he still gets that ability.
I'm gonna
Okay.
get comeuppance.
Ooh. They're gonna beat each other in the face.
Oh yeah. Well, I have some triggers. It happens twice. Arcane Bombardment will exile an instant sorcery at random from my graveyard, and I'll cast a bunch of garbage. Give him like 15 million counters on his thing. So let's do this real quick.
So I should have gotten 1
I think I'm gonna lose actually, unless I.
from that, and then I
Depending
get
on
1
that.
from that.
Okay, this is not.
But yes, to answer your question, sort of stifle.
Yeah. I was like, what does he have that can stop this? You haven't picked one yet.
No, I have. Let's pick this one.
Enlightened Tutor. Okay.
That's
So I
a
will.
good one.
I mean, it
Good
doesn't.
for us.
It
Sorry,
doesn't.
Zack.
Yeah, it doesn't do that
Doesn't
much.
help you, but
Can I get
it
anything with
does help
Sabine's
us.
Reclamation? Can
Would you
give
like to
someone some
shuffle your deck
plant
4
tokens.
times?
No, I would not. Dude, I don't want to shuffle my deck 1 time. So I'll cast Repeated Reverberation. I'll cast Sabine's Reclamation. Return a bunch of all your Comeuppance is still on the stack, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'll
So
return
there's
these
also
3
there.
lands to play, I guess. Is there a 4th?
You mind if I read comeuppance?
I do not.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, and I can return Dowsing Dagger too if I want to give someone some plants. I'm not going to. Why would I do that? Okay. Yeah.
So pretty much everything on your board dies except for Koski.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
but I get to draw a bunch of cards.
True. Running out of board space here.
It's okay, I know your problem. This deck does
Yeah.
that too.
All right. That's all I got. Just gotta hope I don't die to dogs and dogs and cats.
There you go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I draw 6 cards. 2, 3.
This is the first time I've played the Chandra. It's pretty nuts.
It seems real strong.
Yeah.
That's like
That
the card I've
passive
been
is
really
so
impressed
good.
with.
The passive is insane.
Yes.
And it has like a bunch of good text that isn't the passive.
Post combat, I already
Yeah.
played a land for turn, so
You play that in like a red-green deck, actually.
People are playing it in standard too. They're
Mhm.
playing like this mono red, like all will be one planeswalker deck.
I'll play
With Koth
an
and
Emerald
all that,
Medallion
yeah.
and pass. Wrong color. Either Emerald Medallion. Well, I guess it doesn't
No,
matter.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, there we go. Green spells cost 1 less. Discard.
Coat of Arms.
Uh-oh.
Oh, why didn't you play that?
I'm
last time?
dead.
I didn't have 5 lands.
That would have been nice. You might
dead
squirrels,
as
shields,
hell.
and swords.
Okay, wait, so what's the math on this? Big. Math is big. I'm gonna pay 1 and draw a card. Okay. That doesn't do anything.
I love your Sacred Foundry over there.
Thank you. This deck's not fully, like, foiled, but it's getting there. That's all I got.
I have something like that.
So, how many blockers you got?
1.
1. You can block this guy.
Does that have trample?
It does not,
Okay.
unfortunately. So this is a dog. Dog. Cat, cat,
So
cat.
I don't think he can kill you.
But
I
can you
don't
get me
think so.
below 50?
That's what I'm wondering.
I don't think so.
1, 2,
With a blocker up there, it's a little hard.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're all +5, +5.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kill Ryan.
Wait.
Oh! Oh!
I just want to make a squirrel block one of them.
Okay.
Block
fair
the
enough.
Tauren Mauler.
Yeah.
Got him. Oh, wait, can you
Got him.
kill anything? No, coat of arms. Okay.
And we'll do.
Dead.
And then I'll pass it to you.
Any stifle effects? Any more?
No,
Okay,
no.
then I win. Good
Sick.
game. Thank
That was
you.
good, man.
Yeah, I had
Good
fun.
Yeah. Good game, guys.
Same to you, Brian.
Dude, that's
Brian.
turn 4 top deck
Good game.
into the
Yeah, that was
the
fun.
transmogrify. Just put
And
the.
I have your soul ring too.
Oh yeah.
And that was even with your soul ring being knocked out
I have
the whole game.
someone.
I was real impressed with that deck, Zack.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
runs like a really smooth engine. Where's your? Oh, it's in your
And the squirrel
graveyard.
deck finally got to see the light of day.
No cradle. Sad.
I drew Cradle.
Oh, you
from
had
all
it?
those squirrels dying.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yeah, no, unfortunately I just did not get there on mana, which is weird because I got 36 lands in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sometimes
it just
it
happens.
just doesn't work.
Yeah, it happens, but I'm okay with it. I had fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zach, for
Yeah,
playing
no
with us.
problem.
You want
Oh,
to
this
see
is
the players'
your-
faces and have discussion?
Let me put this away.
Sure.
Should we stop recording?
No, you're good.
Just let it
Yeah.
roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I put it on the face one?
Yeah, we'll talk about players' faces now.
There we go.
Talk about the
We'll talk about
Yeah,
people's
so
faces.
my face looks pretty good, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very
After that game, I think I see a smile.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna make sure that the head of yours spits out of the building though before we leave.
I don't know if it will. It's getting pretty big.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're good.
So that was kind of a longer game.
Yeah.
For it took longer than I thought it was going to.
For a bunch of token decks?
Yeah.
That's
I'd
fun.
say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pam's squirrel deck looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Shattered
bunch
King did some
of.
work.
I would have been dead.
Yeah. You had
It's-
some good responses though.
Yeah, the deck's built to not be attacked.
Yeah.
Yep.
It did its job.
Mm-hmm.
Those two, the infect and then the overrun. Ooh, that would have been fun.
Yeah, I thought about getting Angel's Grace there, but I think I still die because I
Yeah.
can't lose that turn.
Thanks.
But then the next turn, the Angel's Grace wears off, and then I die 'cause to state-based actions or something.
Oh, yeah, you got an eraser on that. Thank you, sir.
All in all, I think it was a good, fun game. First game.
Mhm.
ever
It was
on
a
the
fun
podcast.
game.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it for sure.
Yep.
And I want to see that deck list. You got to
Yeah,
write
yeah,
about
yeah.
that for the
Yeah.
website.
I will.
That deck
Isn't
looks
it cool?
awesome.
It's like
very
turn
cool.
4. It's like what Boros deck wins with Test of Endurance.
Right.
It's cool.
That's some power.
That's power behind that.
Yeah,
eraser.
it's
It's
a
like one of
Elbow
those
beat.
things too, where it's like, what's he gonna get next?
Yeah. How many targets does
What's
he
in
have?
there?
You have so much deck space when you cut every creature except Godo. So I can afford to put in all these like
Thanks.
niche.
No problem.
utility pieces like Boil. I have Boil in the deck.
You boil in there
Yeah, because
too?
you can get Sunforger, and there's
Ooh.
so many blue players like fetching for their triomes and stuff, and you know sometimes it's just like a 6-for-1
Right.
that kills 2 target players because they can't cast their spells anymore.
Yep.
It wasn't good that game. I mean, I could have destroyed your 2 islands, but like, I mean that doesn't really do that much because you had like 4 rocks.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, this deck runs heavy rocks. The thing is,
You have to in Brood Plaid.
yeah. No, the deck is actually not terrible. It's just, I didn't get there.
It wasn't a good showing, yeah.
Yeah.
We both kind of had trouble drawing lands, getting to 3 and 4 mana,
Oh yeah.
and it kind of turned into a two
Two-person.
horse race because Mana Crypt and Sol Ring
yeah.
against 2 players who are kind of having trouble finding
That was a
their
nice top
their
deck.
lands. Yeah,
Felt really good. Top decking
Yeah.
Soul Ring and then Transmogrify. Oh, so good.
That was good.
You want to see the turn 4 polymorph effect like every game in this deck
Mm-hmm.
because it just puts Sunforger in play.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna since this is the first episode, I'm gonna explain it to everyone. So we play a game. We had some fun. Zach was our winner, obviously, as you guys saw. So we'll actually start the round table, but we'll start. What we're gonna do is ask questions. We're gonna ask questions. We're gonna have a topic for each episode. The last question is always gonna be our what do you want to call it? Our chef's kiss question of the episode, right? It's gonna be the one that's gonna
The
make
heavy
people
hitter.
think. Yeah, the heavy hitter.
Okay.
It's going to make everyone tap out for real. So we're going to start the round table. Since you won the game, we're going to let you answer first,
All right.
and we'll kind of start things off. Brian, go ahead and ask them.
What do you find most appealing about Commander as a format?
Deck building. Easy.
Nice.
Biggest card pool of like any format in any card game. Like I can't think of a card pool in any format in any card game that even comes close. In fact, you pretty much have all of Magic at your disposal, and you just craft what you want to do. I love deck building, and Commander's just like the perfect place to do it.
I feel you on that one too.
Especially the
That's-
singleton. Singleton means you can fit bad cards
yeah.
in your deck, and it's cool.
And no one really will know, unless obviously everyone's building the same deck. But no one's going to know what those 99 cards are going to be that you're going to play on your turn. Just because how you build your deck, or whoever it is, it's unique. So each player, I feel like their play styles and whatnot makes them unique. Which we got a question coming up we'll talk about later about that. But I feel like, you're right, I feel like this format is such a fun format because you can build decks that make you go, wow. Like he's got a mono red mill deck.
That's cool.
So
Who's
I
the
mean,
commander?
Torbrin.
Okay, that's funny.
so I mean, that's the uniqueness
Mhm.
that this brings everyone together. That goes, wow, I didn't think of that. So I think you're right on the money there.
Yeah, I love challenging myself and trying to build like decks with restrictions. Like I have a no land deck.
Oh,
Deck
really?
with no lands in it.
Interesting.
Wood doesn't even sound like it works, but it sort of does
Okay.
sometimes. It's not consistent and it's not good, but it's fun. And giving myself restrictions like that makes it pretty enjoyable.
All right, cool.
Man.
What about you two?
Well, I guess what I find most appealing about Commander is kind of touching on what Zach said, the card pool. At heart, I'm a Johnny player, so I like making fun, interesting decks. I don't like making anything that's kind of too linear because then to me it might get me there, it might win me the game, but then I won't have fun playing it. So I want to have something that's fun to play with, fun to play against, and just enjoy the game.
Okay.
See, that's where you
made
and I
that
differ.
analogy earlier about
Yeah.
it's like a board game where everybody brings a quarter of the game to the
Mhm.
table, and I love that about Commander. I love playing multiplayer games.
I like bringing
more
the
than just
fourth of the
one-on-one.
board game that like warps the whole board game.
Well,
Yeah.
you sure
Like,
did that
yeah.
today.
Like, oh, there's like this threat, this imminent threat we have to deal with, or it's going to like get too much value and we're going to lose, and it's hard to interact with. I like that kind of stuff. I'm not as concerned as I've noticed other people are about like, oh, this isn't very fun to play against. I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do, you know, and as good as I can get it. Within reason. I'm not playing CDH, like I don't have Mana Crypt in my deck, but you know, I got Boil in there, and that's not fun to play against. No one likes getting boiled.
That's right.
Makes for a good story, though.
It does.
Even if you're on the...
Dude, my
Getting
friends
boiled
play
side of
around
it.
boil now. They'll like fetch for the non-blue like shock because they know I'm running boil, and I will do it if it's good.
Try and do like a fractured identity with
Ooh.
a prismatic omen, so
That's-
that way you can radiate a boil.
Dude, one time someone had a prismatic. They were
Way-
just
way
playing
more-
Jund Landfall. They had prismatic omen, and I boiled them. They were really mad. They were like, "You're playing mass land destruction? No, like."
No, just islands.
Yeah, it's just islands. Just so happens the stars aligned, and you got destroyed. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Does anyone here have a play style, their own play style?
Control.
Control?
Oh yeah, every format, every deck, even my non-control decks just feel like control decks.
I like playing a little bit of everything. I guess mid-range would be the appropriate choice for me because sometimes I like going in super quick, sometimes I like holding back. Honestly, again, it kind of depends on who's at the table. If I'm playing in a high-end commander game, I want to run a high-end deck. If I'm not, then I'll just chill out and have some fun. Like Torbran, what I call Torbran Mills, mono red mill. It's basically mono red artifact recursion, but all of the artifacts mill you. And it's not attack heavy, it doesn't do combat damage, but it tries to win via a very, albeit hard way to win, but it tries to win via just milling an opponent to death. And the thing is that the deck can win. It has won before. It's just, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
I'll play that in games where things are a little bit more relaxed, or players just want to experience the game and have fun. And then other times, I'll play Thrix, which, Thrix mono blue extra turns is kind of just.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I call it
spice.
Thrick snaps when I play against it because I have time to take a little nap in between his turns.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I've just decided to not play extra turn effects ever. Like, I just think it's like, like so much time is consumed. Like, it's like playing solitaire a little bit. Just not for me, but I totally get it. They're disgustingly good. Like,
Yeah,
extra
for
turn
sure.
effects in 4-player pods are like 3 times as good or
I
something.
I downloaded a coloring book app just every time I play against his deck. Usually it has some curse words on it that we won't talk about, but I kind of fill in the blanks a little bit when I'm playing against him for
I saw
some
someone
flavor.
playing like the mono blue god extra turns. I forget which was it, Kefnet or something. The one who at the beginning of your upkeep you reveal a card off the top and you can pay 2 to copy it.
Oh,
it's
that's Kefnet, the
yeah,
God Eternal?
Yeah, he was doing like scroll rack. So like he would just scroll rack a time warp to the top of his
Ooh.
deck every turn. And I was like, oh, so we just lose.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys know that the original wording on Time Walk was target player loses next turn?
Oh yeah, I think I saw something about that, and they had to change it because people thought that meant that they lost the game next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of neat because they envisioned it as like a skip card in Uno almost,
Mm-hmm.
like Time Walk, but it's so much, like taking an extra turn after this one is so much more powerful than a skip.
So much more powerful, and also
I agree.
it also clears up the ruling inconsistencies because I feel like target player skips next turn is weird. Like that's probably
Right.
some weird stuff trying to make that work.
Yep.
Right,
I
and
agree.
multiplayer extra turns just scale up so well.
Yeah, I mean because there's 3 times as many people between
That are
the
getting
next turn.
skipped, yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. Agree.
You want to handle the next one, Ryan?
Sure. What do you think in today's world, and a post-pandemic world that we live in now, and how Commander was such a good drive for us to keep our friends together during the pandemic and everything, where Magic at local game stores closed, you didn't have that effect, but you had Commander. Everyone seemed to be Commander with spell table.
Mhm.
What would a world look like without Commander? What would the Magic formats and everything else look like in a world without Commander today? What is your opinion on that?
Don't think mono white initiative would have been a thing. that was pretty. I think some decks just wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
There are a lot of decks that that exist because of commander cards. Like there's a bunch of commander cards that ended up seeing a ton of play in like other form, like True Name Nemesis.
Yeah.
That card's like crazy. The whole mono white initiative thing. Like I'm sure there's more, but like a bunch of formats have been completely warped by Commander because they printed mostly Legacy and Vintage, because they printed cards that for Commander's players to play
Right.
that end up being not that balanced in a 1 versus 1 environment.
Right.
So that happened. That's an effect. I don't know.
And to add on to that, I think that a lot of the formats, there's a lot of people that are just like specifically to their 60 card format and they don't like Commander.
Mm-hmm.
But putting to what you said into perspective, really at the end of the day, Commander's been doing a lot for a lot of formats. It's
True.
been helping Wizards a lot. The reason I feel like a big part of it, I don't want to say this really, but I'll say it. I feel like if it wasn't for Commander during the pandemic, Magic still would not be as popular as it is now.
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, it sort of being able to, because the competitive like LGS environment
That just went away.
Yeah, it was like LGS were just closed.
It phased out like you played
Yeah. So
During the pandemic, Commander was the only format that fired
Yeah.
at game stores in my
Yep.
area. That was the only way I could play Magic other than playing online. And I don't like playing online, so I think without Commander, I might have like kind of just moved on from Magic.
Yeah, I think Magic would have been in a much worse position as a game if Commander didn't exist, because like I started playing back in 2008, and the thing with it is that there was Standard, there was a format called Extended, which you could say is technically Pioneer or Modern. But they had all these other formats, and honestly, a lot of people were looking for something more fun to play. So, because they were looking for something more fun, that's how Commander was created. And the thing is that Magic probably would have came and went without it, simply because not only were people looking for more fun, more deck building strategies, stuff like that. Just, that's pretty much it. I think
also-
it would have died.
there's so many cards that Commander has just breathed new life into that just would see zero play. Like they would just be worthless.
I
Like,
agree.
I could list off probably 1,000, honestly. But the fact that there's a format where if you open a card in a pack, you can almost definitely play that card in this format. Like that adds a lot to the whole game. Even if you don't play Commander, you could in the future, and all your standard cards will probably be legal,
Yeah.
Yep.
and they'll never rotate.
I mean,
Yep.
look at the Unfinity set, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Unfinity was, they released cards that were legal for Commander and a
Yep.
couple other formats, but they weren't legal, obviously, for Modern and other
Standard.
stuff.
And,
But them doing that made this set, wanted to be marketable.
yeah,
And, adding the shock lands, the different things like that. The play, it brought the different formats together to market the set. And Commander was the main focus around it. The cards that were legal, not the Acorn ones, but the ones that were legal for Commander and other vintage formats.
there's tons
Yeah.
of sets like that. Now that they've started just like printing product for Commander, I know a lot of people don't like the rate that they're doing it and how they're doing it, but honestly, I don't mind. I like new toys.
Exactly.
Like, what can I say?
Right.
I appreciate that they're printing more stuff for Commander, because Commander, with it being a multiplayer format, is a really good way to bring people together. So if they try and print just decks or like cards for one-on-one, it makes the game super hyper-focused toward trying to just win, not really have fun. And it kind of strips away the core of why Magic was created, which was actually for fun. It was meant for you to pretend to be a wizard, throwing spells at your opponent who was also pretending to be a wizard with you.
Yeah, it's like the
And-
cards for 60 card Magic are like Thoughtseize and stuff. And for Commander, you're playing like Pier's Whim and all this stuff where you interact with your opponents and there's decisions to make.
A fun card I like is Scrambleverse.
Oh yeah, that's a spell, all right. Takes like 15 minutes to resolve that one, I bet.
But yeah, I think that those are some good points there. I think we're going to get down to the spicy one. So I want everyone to answer this one, and I think Brian does too. So me and Brian actually have to take a stab at this question as well. So because you went first, or you won,
Yes.
and you went first.
True.
So, you're going to answer the question as well.
All right.
So go ahead, Brian, read it off.
What one thing would you change about Commander?
Let me think. My gut thing I want to say right away is to unban Golos, but I'm gonna think of a better answer.
I mean, that makes games faster.
I just
I'll
want to
put it
play
that way.
Golos. I just want to play Golos in my command zone. I think they should ban more cards, like way more. I think there's a bunch of cards, and I could list a few, like Draenith Magistrate, that are just they don't gel with the format at all. Like, if I see a turn 2 Draenith Magistrate, I am not having fun. And I get that it's a power level thing, but people play Draenith Magistrate and they're 8 decks sometimes, and it just turns off the thing that you're building your deck around.
It turns off the format.
Yeah, it just turns off the whole format on a 2-mana 1/3. I think that should just clearly not be in the format. So I wish they would ban stuff like that, stuff that just doesn't, trade secrets type stuff, where it doesn't work.
Stuff that shuts people down.
Yeah, it just
playing
turns
their
the
decks.
game off.
Yes.
The game isn't going anymore.
Right.
I can't, I can just land, go, and, my deck sucks now,
Yeah.
because I can't play the card I built around.
Yeah.
That stuff I don't think should be in the format, personally.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
I have to agree with Zach on that. There are a lot of different cards that I honestly think could be banned. Some that, people might disagree with, that I don't think should ever be banned. But the biggest thing is that Commander is supposed to be about fun and experience in game where anything can happen. So if you shut that down, then you're turning off the format. You're making people sit there and just watch you play Magic, and no one has fun. There's a lot of cards that are control elements that are good. I mean,
There can be control decks,
yeah. So say we're talking 9s, 10s power level.
yeah.
Chalice's Void, playing it on 0 so no one can play their drop rocks.
That's fine,
Yeah.
That's a situational card that you're playing. Draenith Magistrate, turn 2, here you go. Pass. It just destroys the whole game state
Agreed.
way more than a Chalice, in my opinion.
I agreed. It does. CEDH, sure, you can run Chalice on 0, but then you still get to play lands, you still get to play your commander, you still get to do things.
Mhm.
Draenith Magistrate does indeed shut the game off, and I think that's a card that should be banned in the format. Other things that I might change in the format is maybe adding cards that help multiplayer games. So the problem is CEDH is kind of one-on-one. Sometimes it's a 4-pod. It kind of changes based on what you're doing, where you're at, who you're playing with, what store you're in, all kinds of stuff. But typically for regular Commander games, non-CEDH play, I guess adding cards some of the voting cards from Conspiracy, stuff like that. But
Those are cool.
But something that isn't broken like Expropriate, because I will be honest, I run it in my extra turn stack.
You have to. It's the best extra turn spell.
But it's still a broken card. If they banned it, I would not even be heard about it.
Mhm.
So that's a card that probably shouldn't exist in the format. But I'm not going to say it should be banned, because there are way worse cards that can just be over. Maryland of the Morn Song is one.
Mm-hmm.
Just players can't draw cards.
Yeah, if you see a Maryland in the command zone, it is not going to be a fun game. Because that deck is just, it's like braids. You fast mana out a Marin, and then you find the op agent, and then suddenly, instead of drawing a card, your opponent searches through your deck and gets a card. If braids is banned in the command zone, why isn't Marin?
Yeah.
Or is it Marin, or is it Merrill?
Maryland of
Maryland,
the
yeah,
Morn
Maryland.
Song. Yep. So there are cards like that honestly just stop the game, and stuff like that shouldn't be run. So
I think
even if you're running CDH, stuff like that shouldn't be run, because it's not even so much that you're trying to get there quicker than your opponent. It's just you're shutting off the game so you can play by yourself. So,
Okay. Yeah.
I also just wish they were more consistent with their ban list. The ban list currently, they have like explanations for everything, and there's stuff like biorhythm on there, and the reason they give is like, oh, because it's like 8 mana, I win the game or something. But we have like so many of those, like
Defense
so
of the Heart.
Yeah, I can like. There's so many just like boom, I win cards that if they're banning some of them, why don't they ban all of them? And
Yeah.
if they're just allowing them on the format, why would you ban Coalition Victory and Biorhythm? Because those aren't even that good, I think.
Well, my thing is they should just do what Taco Bell does and just say, hey, let's vote on what you want back or what you want gone.
Dude, I wouldn't mind a vote. That would be fun.
Yeah, put up like a list of 10 options, and 2 of the options will get banned, and we can all vote on what 2 options get banned. And then the community has a better say-so, and people playing in the community who like Commander, who actually listen and read the stories, stuff like that, you know, who actually participate in the format, have a proper say-so, and they help drive the format. So it's, to me, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, it works for Taco Bell, I don't want to work for Wizards, right?
Yeah.
They brought back Dan Chorito, so.
How about you, Ryan? What are you changing?
Well,
One
mine's
thing.
going to be spicy, and I hope no one comes across the table and stabs me, but I've had some time to think about this. One thing I noticed in our game, and I've noticed in multiple games I've played in the last couple weeks, commander damage.
Mhm.
And here's why I say commander damage. I think it should be removed from the game.
Oh.
And the reason I say this is I've had some conversations with people who play Modern and Vintage and Legacy, and they say one of the things that does turn them off is the commander damage instead of just focusing on the life totals. We can play a game, and yeah, while you did attack with your commander, but you could have attacked with all your other guys.
Mhm.
And this wouldn't have ever been existing.
Mhm.
You were going after that life total.
Yeah.
A lot of times, I feel like in Commander, we just kind of go after the life total to try to make sure we can get someone out that's being a threat. But I feel like if commander damage didn't exist, yes, there'd be less decks out there based around it, but I feel like there'd be more decks that people are unique to that we're not building around like a particular style of winning. I feel like it would be a way that would change and bring more people in, but I also feel like it would be a way to make people think, hey, I got to be more aggressive and swing out with creatures.
I
It is-
think.
Oh, sorry.
No,
go ahead.
okay, so it would gut a lot of decks if they did that,
Yeah.
which is a cost. But also, there's a bunch of upsides. Like, not having to keep track of commander damage would be really nice.
Oh, yeah.
It would be really nice. Because it's like another thing you have to, another piece of information in your brain that you have to, like,
Right.
manage. And just having one number there
Yeah.
would be super cool, honestly.
I mean, because you already have Infect, you have like
Yeah.
the cards like you said where you win the game.
Mhm.
You already have all those other ways to possibly win the game.
I don't-
I feel like if you lose just the commander damage, you're not really taking away from it.
And personally, I think commander damage is kind of, like, lame.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you have a 7-attack creature. I'm dead in 3 turns, even though I have
I
40
agree.
life.
Yeah,
Like, oh, you just barely, like,
Yeah.
get me. And it's, like, weird that it's exactly 21. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
It's just, like, a thing that I'm used to because I've been used to it, but I don't think I like it.
Right. I mean, you can have a commander like I play. When me and Brian play Pauper EDH,
Mhm.
I have a commander Abomination of Llanowar, and that thing, if it gets right off the bat to a 16-16, they lose in Pauper EDH.
Yeah, there's
If I had
not
that
much
thing
you
in a
can do.
21-21, you guys lose right in commander.
Yeah,
and
and
that's
there's-
not hard throwing elves on the battlefield to do that.
I've seen some decks that kind of exploit commander damage a little bit, like Slicer Hired Muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really exploits commander damage very hard because it attacks basically every turn.
Yeah.
Rafik of the Many.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another one. The new Yargle and Multani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you giant growth it, it's
Yeah.
at 21 power, so you can just one-shot people.
Yep.
And those are like strategies that I think are valid, but like I also like I hate playing against Slicer. That's
Yeah.
like the least fun because it's like, does someone have removal? No. Okay, everyone's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like not slowly, quickly. So yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like your life total is 21, not 40.
Exactly. And that's why I was thinking, 40 is the life total. If people had one target that they had to just focus on, I think it's easier, like you said, keeping track of less.
Mhm.
I don't really, yes, you're going to lose the decks like we talked about, but I don't really think the game would lose that much. other than a couple deck builds here and there.
I think the decks would still be playable. They just
Yeah.
would be like tuned down.
You'd
a
have to
little
just
bit.
add more
Yeah.
creatures to swing out
Mhm.
wide.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say I'm opposed. And
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm also opposed, but it's like a neat idea.
no, not. I'm opposed to not, or I'm opposed to removing it. I'll say that.
Could be lowered
Yeah.
or increased. I mean,
Increased.
Increased, yeah, that would be fine
Increased,
too.
I'd be more okay with. So, the only reason why I say it is because I have been playing Magic since 2008, and I've
Sure.
seen crazy stuff. I've seen people go up to 1,000 life. Cool, you can stop that with infect or poison and whatnot, but if someone has Malira Sylvic Outcast and you can't get counters or Solemnity, then how do you kill someone who's at 1,000 life?
That's fair.
At that point, they can just gain life and win the game.
life gain decks would get a lot better if they
Yeah.
removed commander damage. A lot better.
I feel like
That-
I'd see more of them.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the problem, is that if you end up having to balance life gain versus creature swinging wide, then it's like a tie of how much life do I gain versus how many creatures I put in to swing wide to kill my opponents. Because if your deck does it better than my deck, and you end up gaining too much life, then I can't keep up.
Sure.
So that's my only issue with it.
That's fair.
And there's a lot of other things that are incorporated with that. I think that they could reduce the amount of creatures they print that can
Yeah.
take advantage of commander damage.
Yep.
Because that's one reason why it's kind of broken. But at the same time, I still think it's needed because I think it brings a decent balance to the format. And honestly, if they don't print the creatures that take too high of an advantage with it, I think it'd be okay.
That's fair. Yeah, good discussion there. What do you think, Brian? What's your
Well,
change?
I would go the opposite direction as our guests today. I would unban everything.
Unban everything.
I would unban everything.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
it all crazy.
Well, it's a casual format. There's
Yep.
nothing on the line. Like, you're just playing for fun.
Mhm.
Yep.
So why does somebody need to tell me which cards I'm not allowed to have fun with? Like, I just want to play with my cards. Like, at the end of the day, it's
Mhm.
is your deck fun to play against, or is your deck not fun to play against? So, and that is a completely subjective thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, like a good 99%. I just bring up Zack's idea of Dranith Magistrate because it does actually shut the fun off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I don't put that card in my deck 'cause it's not
What
fun.
if this guy does? What if like the guy next to you does, and then you don't have fun?
That's
Would you rather that happen because the guy thinks that it's fun for him, or would you rather have it banned? Like,
I've played a lot of Magic in my life. Like,
Mhm.
I'll just get up and play with somebody else if I
That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
at that point, if it's unbanned for everything, everyone's going to run white and just synonymous like everyone running Soul Ring.
There are some cards that are actually just too good for the format, though. Like limited resources, I think is just straight up like it's not only not fun for anyone, it's also just like really really good.
Mana Vortex.
I think some of the
Smokestack.
like
Profit accrue fix.
trade secrets
But there's so many cards like that, and a bunch of them are banned, and a bunch of them are
Not
not
banned.
banned. So
Yeah.
what does it even matter?
It's kind of like Leovold versus Maryland, because Maryland's a 4-drop. Leovold's what, like 5 or 6? And the thing is that if you're playing Leovold versus Maryland, Leovold and Maryland kind of do the same thing. They both stop you from drawing cards. They both stop you from doing everything. And Leovold is not only partial in black, like Maryland is, he also has green and blue to back him up. So it's kind of like, there are some cards that I'm kind of just like, I get why they're banned, but again, if you're going to ban something, ban the other cards that cause problems too. If you just leave half of the cards out there, people are just going to drift toward using that half of cards until either the problem's solved, or if you do unban everything, then yeah, I mean, you have the option to be a masochist and take the trend of the magistrate beating, or get up and play someone else. So it is, it's just.
But like, that card's not even banned now, so it's like, what's
Yeah.
the difference? Like, they won't even ban it.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
And that's like one of the cards you guys both zeroed in on. It's just like a miserable commander experience.
Yes.
Mhm. I
I'm
know,
liking not
I-
having
I-
fun if it's in play.
Played
Like,
with it, so it's
Yeah,
not fun.
of course you have.
I mean, I also play CEDH, so
Yeah.
I don't. You know, there are some cards I do play with, but in casual games like this, you're not going to see me play.
One thing I've thought about is tiered ban lists. Like they have like
that is a good idea.
like
Yeah.
a ban list, like the no ban list here, like power level 10, they can call it whatever they want, but like nothing's banned, and then it goes down like banning more and more cards, and there's like a numeric scale, and then there's like some hard numeric number you can attribute your deck to. Say like, oh, I don't have any cards in the 6 ban list. Like it would be horrible to maintain and probably will never happen. Because it's like such a large logistical undertaking. But I think it would be really cool if it was a thing.
I mean,
I agree with that because you can control it almost like Canadian Highlander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you have either a point system or a scale system like that, I think it would be quite fun because you can change things and help people create a deck that's on similar power structures as everyone else without causing too many problems of, hey, I want to play this card, why can't I type deal.
Mhm.
So it's...
Yeah, and it still allows for CEDH to exist. It still allows for like environments where like, oh, I'm playing 8, and this is the best I can get my deck while it's still an 8, meeting the 8 ban list requirements. So like,
Yeah.
well,
you know.
I mean, other card games do that today.
Mhm.
Magic doesn't. I mean, you look at Yu-Gi-Oh! They have a traditional advanced. You could almost do like competitive, you know, no ban list like you said. You could go advanced and you can go semi-casual or something to that effect. So you could almost do a breakdown of those ban lists and just let people run wild with it and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a neat take.
Maybe a future episode we can kind of make a ban list like that and we can kind of experiment and see how it would be.
That would be
Invite
fun.
you back.
That would
I
be
love
cool.
doing
Yeah.
stuff like that with Magic.
Yeah.
Where you explore different ways.
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
playing.
me and my friends,
Yeah.
we did like a no ban list
Yeah.
thing where we made a few decks where we were literally, if it's been printed on a piece of cardboard, we were playing uncards, like
So a Brian list.
anything we could Google. It was really fun, and it was like no ban list CEDH, so it's kind of Mulligan simulator-y.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if you tuned it down a little bit and we weren't playing like Black Lotus in our deck, it would be a cool format to
Oh yeah,
explore.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah. Well, that's some good responses there. I think that's time for the episode here.
Cool.
First one and done here so far. We got a lot of cool things coming up for everything else. A couple different format discussions from Pauper EDH, the Plains Chase, the Kingdom. We got a lot of things lined up for different topics. So thank you guys for coming out today.
No problem.
Being
Thank
our
you for
first
inviting
guest.
us.
Now I said our first victim. We were your first victim.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to end it there. And you guys all have a good one and hope to tune in next time.
You too.
Great playing with all you guys today.
For sure.
Yep.